What's going on, YouTube family? G Baiano back at it, working on a 2005 Chevy Suburban 5.3 motor, changing out the valve covers. So you take off your little cover there. It's really not in the way, but just unbuckle these straps. That way you can get past the wire harness when it's time. I've never done this before, so it's the first time. I have a little misfire, and they say the PVC valve back there caused the problem. Now, you can't just replace the PVC valve on these. I don't know why Chevy did that, but I think some of the earlier models you can just change it out. We can see it back there. It's made into the valve cover, so it's like pressed in or something. So that would be a $5 part, but now you got to change out the whole valve cover. So this is how you got to order them too. When you order them, they come in with the PVC valve already in it too. So I ordered a couple new ones. But anyway, so you'll take off, of course, unplug that harness there, put it out the way. Then you got, I think, 5 bolts that hold it in, the whole bracket. One right there, one back here, one under that iron harness, and then one here. So it should lift on out. Oh, I missed one. I missed this one right here. So let me get that. Try to hold the camera and do the same time. I think that's the last one. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, you do have to take off your, there's one more clip down right there. You do have to undo your spark plug wires that's onto your coils, which I'll show you that. But you see, usually the coils have their own spark plug wires. I already pulled them off and just set them down there for those for each side. So they're the bolt for the valve covers. Look like there's 4 bolts there to hold it on. So you can move this out the way, I guess. Pull it on out. See, before I tried to take that PVC valve with a pair of vice grips. You see the little scratches around it. Didn't work out for me. And that's when I looked it up and found out. Can now remove it. Yeah, so I'll give it a pause here and I'll take out these. Look like they're 8mm bolts, and I'll get these removed. I'll try to get it where you can see me removing some of these bolts. Like it's ready to come out. So I did this last minute. I had it in my mind this morning, but I did about 3 oil changes, did hub bearing and back shocks today. So I've been kind of all over the place. I didn't think I was gonna have enough time to do this, but I really wanted to get it done in case we go on a small trip this Saturday, 1-day trip. But look at that. Look how nasty. Ooh-wee. I'm glad. Yeah, so you can see that PVC valve. You can't just go buy a plastic one like the old days from the store. You can't even get to it. So anyway, I'll get the new one out and let y'all see that. So here go the new ones. Nice and clean. And they come with the rubber gasket and bolts. So there you go. It looked like this one didn't have a... Oh, it is on there. I didn't see the rubber seal at first. So yeah, I'll get the rubber seal put on that, and then get this. I'll get that cleaned up a little bit too, and then put them on. So when you guys before you put the new ones in, they have these rubber deals. See if I can put this down and show you, but just make sure you seat the rubber in there. See how that one's sitting out? It has a little lip. You just push it down in there. That way it can seal up there. So that way, don't forget that. It probably will seal itself when you tighten it up, but you might want to pre-do it with your fingers. That way you won't have to do it later on, or worry about forgetting. They're all sitting there good now. So, and then, you know, while you get the cover out, just get some goof off or something like that, and clean, you know, parts cleaner or something like that, and clean around the valve cover where the gas is going to sit. That way, give it a fresh start. Okay, I want to note something right quick. When you guys put on your rubber gasket, there's two sides to this thing. So you want the smooth side to touch the head of your motor. You'll see what I'm talking about. It has grooves on one side and smooth on the other. So this is the side you want to want it to be standing up. The little grooves, bees everywhere. You want them to face down into your valve cover. So make sure you do that. Yep, just make sure you do that. You'll be fine. That gasket should fit in there right, nice and snug. I like this design. You know, remember the old days. You don't know whether to use gasket glue or not. Some people use nothing but gasket glue and no gasket. Some people use cork. Some people use rubber. Those are all kind of different things back in the day. But this, you just slap right on, no glue, ready to go. So let's get this baby on here. You should unhook your battery. My battery is dead. I moved the truck up here and then turn it off. So that way you should have this rubber boot on there. You shouldn't have to take none of this off, but you might want to hook your negative cable just in case. That way you won't hit nothing when you're pulling this out. So we'll get this tightened up. Get the one way in the back. One more. Go. So what my Suburban was doing, I didn't say that earlier. I took it on a road trip. It was short. It was about 3 hours. To the countryside. I just bought this, and I probably had it a month, maybe I just changed the oil, you know, did that, took out the fluids. It was running like a champ, running good. But man, it has an oil leak bad. And I think it might be coming from the oil cooler line. But got on the road, you know, it did fine all the way there. I noticed when I got there, I was probably a half a quart low. Maybe a quart on oil. So it was still running fine. I noticed white smoke, you know, or blue smoke coming out the tailpipe when I first started up. So that was the first sign of it. Did fine all the way when we was there, came back, and 2 days later, 3 days later, on the way back, the check engine light started flashing, had a little misfire. So, you know, I smelled the oil when we actually got there, but you know, didn't know exactly where it was leaking from then. But when I got back, I kind of checked. It's coming from the front bottom, so I think the oil cooler line is leaking. But yeah, so it started misfiring real bad. As soon as, I mean, right when I get back in the city, you know, maybe that later that day or the day after when I moved it around, I said, man, I'm glad, you know, it happened while we was way out there. But usually these Chevy motors are good to go. But like I said, I just got the vehicle, so I got to know it then. I got to know it, so I know what it needs. Probably need to change my spark plug still, and I'm gonna change the other side right quick. But yeah, that's the valve cover gasket. That was a quick, you know, really 10 minutes in between doing other stuff and filming. But I'm gonna get this other side off and go from there. So here's this other side. Usually we always say the passenger side is the easiest, but I don't know. It's got the oil filler tube, got the extra brackets for the heater hose. It might be harder. It might be harder on this one. I don't know. Find out though. Let me get my tools and get this going. So you just, you know, break loose your spark plug wires, pull them down, and one by one. I'm about to put the camera down. So, okay, I can tell right now that back bolt, you can barely see the head of it back there. The other side, back there. That one's it's tighter than the other side, I believe. So, yeah, so remember to hook that with that white clips. Pull that up. Out the way. You got a little clip right there. Use a screwdriver or whatever you have around. Just open those clips up. I always have my knife around. That. Push your oil filler tube. It's gonna come off. Let me get that thing off. All right. Getting late over here in the Midwest. Mosquitoes trying to come eat dinner. They don't seem to care about the spray I put on. I got bushes right next to me, so they live in those bushes. I always feel like they tigers over here in the jungle. Them suckers, they fight, tell you to get their blood. They fight over here. Take it on out. That one's just as ugly. So I'm gonna take my oil filler tube off, get it cleaned up and swapped out. Just to let y'all know, heads up, y'all really gonna have to fight to get this oil filler cap off. It doesn't just screw on. It feels like it'll screw on and lock in, but it does more than that. So you will have to put it in that groove when it goes back in and then twist it. but I had to move it over, twist it, and then pry it out with a screwdriver from the top. Just get in there in between there and pry it up slowly each side. You'll get it out. It feels like it's gonna break when I was trying to do it. So, but just take your time, it'll come out. So you know what I'm talking about on the new one. The old one too has that little knob that sticks out, but goes right into that groove there when it goes back in. So you just slide in there, and then you can just turn it. Anyway, yeah, you stick it in there and you turn it in that groove and it'll be in position. My videos are getting short. I guess I'm reaching my max on the video, so I'll try to hurry this up. Another side note, if you're having problems with your rubber garment coming all the way down and you wanted to get past that lip, just set them in there, pull it from the inside like this and wiggle it around while you're pulling it. Cameras. But just wiggle it and pull it at the same time. They will pull through and they will seat for you. Another note, I don't remember if I said this or not on the other valve cover, but when you're putting this gasket on, start with these grooves, these little humps. 1, 2, 3. Start there, because if you don't, if you start somewhere else, you're not going to line these humps up right. So if you start there, you won't go wrong on the rest of it. Just going to follow right through. So make sure you start right there in those little humps that they got there. Also, before you put your valve cover on, make sure you check that nothing fell on the inside of your head, because little grimy stuff fall off. Part of my plastic bracket actually fell in there, a big chunk. So check that before you put on your valve cover. All right, I didn't record like I did the other side, but for time's sake, my video, I don't know where it left off, but anyway, I did not put that last bolt in, remember, at the back, because don't need it. It only holds on this bracket. See, it's tight as can be. It's not gonna hurt nothing. If somebody wants to come put it back in for me, that's fine. It's not gonna help me, but it's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna run. So anyway, clean it off the best I could for time's sake. But that's it for this one. 2005 Chevy Suburban, Silverado, Tahoe, Yukons, all that with the 5.3. That's valve cover change, and you can change the coil packs at the same time if you want to, or take them all apart, clean up the railing and all that, paint it, if you want to do all that custom stuff. So there's another one from G-Body Auto, saving you money. And like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.